Welcome to my humble little office. My name is R. Keith Andrews. I am a spiritual guide and paranormal adept. The journey continues today on September 13th, 2023 at approximately 4:22 p.m. PST. Now, I've returned to this world for one primary purpose, and that is to remind people that working together, we can make this a better world for virtually everybody. Now, I bill myself as a spiritual guide because the tools I offer are the exact same tools I personally use in my day-to-day life. And the philosophies of life I talk about are the precise philosophies I personally guide my life by. Now, these same tools I have shared with literally thousands of clients over the years, with varying degrees of success, depending entirely on their personal efforts. This is why I know these tools will work for you as well. Now, before I go any further, okay, we will start off with Raymond L. has come in with the gold today. Alan Lakatos is in with the silver. Then we have Joe Stewart. Welcome aboard. You've got bronze. And Kevin Whip-F, we'll put it that way, has come in with honorable mention. Thank you so much for sharing your time with me. Now, I do have some news to pass on before we get into the whole concept of planning to make things work. See, I live by a simple philosophy. You plan for the best, you brace for the worst, and you live for the moment. The reason being, there's three laws that I follow. Okay, and if you compare the laws that you follow with the ones that I personally follow, I do feel you'll find them all fit inside. Emmy Tonga, how you doing? Glad you could join us. The three laws I follow are: be true to yourself first, do unto others as you desire them to do unto you, and energy out, energy in. Now, let's put that all in context. Okay, I made a comment a while ago to you guys that I am building an empire starting with, this isn't I'm going to build it, I've already got the groundwork down. Okay, starting with a publishing company. Now, I had to put things on hold temporarily in that department because our illustrious government turned around and said, don't do anything with it until we tell you until it's gone through the acceptance board. So I sat back and did nothing with it. I took them at their guidance. Not necessarily my smartest move. They came back this morning and said, I'm sorry, we're not going to take you on. Now, this is still in the air. It's still being pursued. But get this. I went to them in the first place and said, look, I'm coming to you for help because of two factors. I've got all the equipment I need to run. Okay, I've already got it. What I require is your guidance where it comes to operating computers and where it comes to marketing. Now, frankly, they turned around, they sent me word. What they told me was they regretted it had been turned down. Okay. Now, I could go and read the exact document, but suffice it to say, what they actually told Work BC was he's been turned down because he doesn't, and get this, he doesn't have the computer knowledge to me, and the company isn't viable, okay, at this time, and he doesn't have the computer knowledge. Well, understand something rather critical here. Okay, number one, I've got a letter of support stating that the printing company I work with has got a list of clients that are just waiting for me to open the doors. That's all they're waiting for. Okay. That would be first and foremost. And the government company goes, number one, it's not viable. I've got apparently a list of available clients. And I've gotten a lot of support from you guys saying, hey, make it work. Okay. Well, turns out they said, number one, you don't have number one, they told Work PC that I, first of all, don't have the computer knowledge, Well, no kidding. I was going to them for it. Number two, they said there wasn't enough information on the paperwork. And according to Work BC, all of the paperwork was filled out fine. There was no problem there. So it's still going into arguing with them. I'm just plain not waiting anymore. Okay, I've got a couple of things on my list that I will be doing this week. And if they turn me down, I'm not waiting around to find out. And if they turn me down after I've started doing things, so be it. I do it the hard way. Okay, right now, thanks to you guys, I am currently at 545 subscribers. Yes, I am looking into the monetizing of the stream at this point. And I've been holding off, but now I'm starting to schedule time to literally make it happen. Now, over here, where is it? Over here, I've got paperwork that I've got to look at because that's where I put the list of different subjects this year and for this week. Now, like I said, if you've got a question, even if it isn't on, thank you very much, Sir Kevin. Even if it isn't on, that we're not talking about right this moment. If you've got a question, come right out and put it in all caps, at least partial caps, or put that neat little wavy hand icon in, so I know you're looking for it. Do understand, I do not look at all caps as yelling in this stream. I also do not look at cross chatter, as in you guys talking amongst yourselves, as being a troll. This is how support is done, by communicating with each other. And yes, I did go and get my coffee. I've got a full pot up front, so if I go running off, that'd be why. But then I'll tell you that. So, now, turn around fast, get dizzy, pop the knee out of joint. That's always fun. Not really, in all fairness. So I take this information here. Those can go back up there. What do I got? Okay, let's bring this over here so you can see what I'm dealing with. I'm not going to turn the paper around, but I do have to get it straightened out so I can get the items in. So let us take a look here. Now, that is information on... Now, before I go any further, let's get this straight. What I am starting with focusing on is how to literally plan for your success, not mine. I'm going to walk through my doing it, but that's simply because it gives you a working model that is paying off. Football, how you doing? Glad you could join us. I have chosen, there are some words, some subjects I'm just not going to deal with because, frankly, they annoy me. But this is literally a list of the different primary characters that I am now starting to actively look in my collection to complete where it comes to painting them, with the Yldrbacian Chronicles. Now, this particular thing in page here, this is, again, and you'll notice I talk a lot about lists and how they work. Oh, Joe, I read that just a little earlier. Hang on here. I just got to scroll up a bit because you mentioned something when you first came in the door. And again, guys, if I miss something, absolutely come right out and ask. If you post a question and I miss it, do us all a favor, if you would, please. Repost it. I will do my best to catch up to it. But I am by no means in the caliber of some of the other streamers. Dave Scott, to be specific. It's Spaced Out Radio. But Dave or Joe, you have gone about 5 p.m. Eastern time today. I went out back to collect wood for campfire. It's actually still going. I heard a distinct voice say my name, Joe, and it was close. Well, you're not losing your mind. Now, you already know you're empathic. Okay, we've discussed this before and we've come to that conclusion. Okay, when you hear a name your name that clearly, what you're getting is one of your guides. Everybody's born with them, and most people are born with one primary, and that one will be with you from the time you're born all the way to the time you pass away. Okay, but people will often have many different guides that come in temporarily for different things. In all cases I've run into, when the guides first surface, they start by calling your name. Okay, simply to get you to pay attention. Now, many times you'll hear it in just a faded voice. Okay, but when you get to the point of hearing your name absolutely clearly, like you have, Joe, you've got a guide that is now ready to open the door and say, hey, I now figured out the frequency to connect. Okay, so no, you're not losing your mind. Of course, I'm not necessarily the one to talk to about what's losing your mind. However, and I was supposed to do this, so take this and we minimize that. Where is that one? Yes, I've got like I've mentioned before, I look in different directions because, well, I'm pretty certain my head doesn't stay locked on, so I keep having to tighten it up. But up on the top here, I've got a whole list of different stream addresses, and since I've already mentioned it, this here is the link to Dave's channel. Where are we here? We copy that. Absolutely, drop in, give him a listen. If you like what he has to say, do give him a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Okay, now I just noticed, who is it that came through the door here? Nathan has arrived on scene. And Nathan is running the Quantum Show. This is the link to his stream. And I think I had something set there. I got to double check. So this is the link to his stream. He comes on Saturday nights at 9 p.m. Central. This makes it 7 p.m. Pacific. Okay. So again, drop in. Give him a listen. If you like what he has to say, give him a thumbs up and then subscribe to the channel. And of course, share the daylights out of it. Very helpful for all of us. The way I figure you guys come in here to support me and encourage me. And I'll tell you, that has been a phenomenal assistance. So with that in mind, my posting the streamlines is simply my way of returning the favor. Now, let us see here. Absolutely, I'm behind a little. Adam, I absolutely agree. Typical government bureaucracy. And these are the people telling us to get organized. I'm telling you, there's something a little screwy there. Okay. Semper Fi to you there, Black Dragon. Yeah, that's exactly what that likely was, Joe. I mean, technically, there are possibilities of other things, but in my experience, with over 100,000 clients under my belt, the massive majority, that one name, when you hear your name, that is a spirit guide going, hey, tap, tap, Joe, can you hear me? It's kind of like that idea of testing 1, 2, 3, 4. They're trying to find and they're making the effort to get the frequency right. Now, what have we got going on here? We scroll down a little further, and we have Eternity. How you doing? Glad you could join us. Oh, I appreciate that, Kevin. I do like getting to see the people that are around. I know it's kind of weird from my end. I run a 2-hour stream, and now I'm starting before the end of the stream. I'm usually having close to or over 24 hours of listening time. When I take a look at the dashboard that tells me what kind of a view line I've got. So I know other people are listening. I do not like loose hair. Sorry, it comes with the territory. Yeah, I know. I'm not supposed to announce that because it's not correct. Jenny White Bear, how you doing? Glad you could join us, and I do hope your day has been going well. Now, what do we got here? That's my list of, like I say, lists for me work extremely well. What do we got? That list. Oh, that one I'm certainly going to have to go through. This one is current. Oh, this is the list for what I'm doing for this current edition, as in October's newsletter. This list here. Let me see. Do I have one? No. Well, that is unfortunate. So that gets added to my shopping list, and I'll do that tomorrow. Yeah, in all fairness, football, when we talk about it always being, my hair always being curly like that, according to my parents, I was born with pitch black hair. Like I had a full head of pitch black hair that was already curly. Or I believe they called it wavy, but I can do with either. Okay. If you go back a few years, my hair was all the way down to here. And yes, at that point I wore it in a ponytail, primarily because I wanted to be able to see. Now, since I don't have let's try English here. This list is for the characters that I'm building and that I'm actually now identifying and painting. And that, by the way, I will undoubtedly have some of them ready to go, ready to show you and ready to work on Sunday. This list tells me what's going on, what is going into the October edition of Positive Perspectives of the newsletter. And again, the newsletter is 100% free, regardless of whether it's coming via email or over hard copy through the mail. And that's anywhere in the world that I'm looking at. Football. Both of my sons have relatively straight hair. Their mom had rather straight hair. Well, still has rather straight hair. And even most of my family had pretty wavy hair. Now, this list has to go. I'll just pop that back here because I know where I can put that one. Go way back in here. We pop it right at the back. That way I know it's that edition. A lot of it's already set up. Now, the reason I'm doing this right now is because, well, frankly, it's a case of making certain that even if you've got a number of projects on the go, getting them done one at a time absolutely works. Now, this, as I've mentioned before, okay, when I'm writing, I write the section on just loose leaf paper. Okay, like I've done here. Okay, I'll do my writing on loose leaf paper. I'll get it transcribed to the soft copy. Then I turn around, and this is just the organizational side of it. Then I turn around and print it out and then I start writing to fill it in. Okay. Again, it's just a simple process in my eyes. And then I write out more of it and then transcribe this in, add it to what I've got, and away we go. Now that is one part of Birth of the Wolf, or not Birth, of the Return to Paradise. This what is this one? Oh, okay, bonus. I did have, this is the list I told you I was looking for. So I'm just going to move this out of the way first. This here was a whole sheep load of stuff I don't require. Basically what I did was I printed off a bunch of stuff that I wasn't supposed to. So it becomes scrap paper I can work with. Now, all you have to do to get your life moving in the right direction is literally decide what you're not content with. Now, football goes, yeah, football goes, as a child has straight, oily hair, now dry and wavy. Kim goes, I'm going out to another star because I already been to purgatory. I've been to purgatory, it's rather frequently, but I've got a reason for it. I know this. But yeah, just remember one thing, Kevin, and no shortcuts. Okay, you came here to learn something in this lifetime, in this physical world. Okay, do not cut that short. Suicide is certainly not recommended. Yes, there are people that commit suicide because that's part of what they came here for. I still don't recommend it. To me, that's just a little bit off kilter. I won't do it myself. Lord knows I've fought depression over the years. Now, let us see here. So we take a look. That's all stuff. This is all paper I'm writing on. This is the hard copy that I'm going through. Oh, right there. Again, yes, I use my bed as a planning board. Absolutely, I do. Okay, because this is all hard copy I've done. I'm going back through to make certain I've got everything I wrote down properly so it can be filed. So that's the stuff I'm working on there. Now, with that in mind, take a look at how your life is. Okay. Lord Rebeljack, how you doing? Glad you could join us. You take a look at where your life is now. So many people say you gotta plan out where your life is going before you hit of all the arbitrary times. 20 years old. Here's a newsflash. Okay. As I've mentioned, I've dealt with well over 100,000 clients in my life. And the massive majority do not have a clue what they want to do when they grow up until they're in their late 40s, early 50s. Lord knows, sitting in front of here was not my idea when I was a child. Of course, when I was a child, we didn't have here. Football, that's just it. And I do encourage you to do so. A promotion gives you a little bit more freeway to do your job your way. And the fact that your supervisor told you to is a way of him saying, hey, you're doing a good job. Make the jump. Push for that jump. You've heard the term, the squeaky wheel gets the grease. Well, the person that desires the promotion is the one that gets off their tail feathers and says, I deserve it. Now, I've sat back, and this is why I say I'm not perfect. I put off doing anything to make this channel grow to start really working with the advertising, what have you, because I made the stupid decision. I call it stupid because I know better now. At the time, it was an ignorant decision that I didn't know what I was dealing with. Okay. The reality is, I know full well. Yeah, I found that I made the mistake during an interview one day. I told the interviewer, right? He asked about certain words. I looked at him and I said, frankly, if I'm not happy with my work, I don't care what you're happy with. It just won't matter to me. That kind of brutal honesty, I'm sure, cost me the job. At this point, not a big issue. By the way, football, one thing to keep in mind about the idea of pretending to be humble. There's a very big difference between being proud of who you are and what you can accomplish and being egocentric. If you're telling them, this is what I can do, okay, that's just simply being proud of what you can do. If you go something to the effect, and I'm paraphrasing, if you go, I can do don't tell me how to do it. I already know this. Okay. And I can do it better than you do anyway. This is where ego gets in the way. This is where pride becomes a problem. Now, my family was rife with pride, and some of them still are. I know in one instance that I talked to somebody, they went in and applied for a job. Okay. They applied for the job. They said, look, don't bother reading my resume. It won't tell you a thing. But I will make that machine of yours work faster than you've ever seen done. Now, this is a little cocky. I don't know if you want to call it pride or not. The one important factor in their case was they walked in and did exactly what they said they were going to. My father, when he got his job after leaving the military, he walked in, when we first moved to the Okanagan here. My dad walked onto the airbase and he looked at the manager or at the owner, and he goes, I'm working here. And he set his tools down. He didn't ask for the job. He goes, I'm working here. If I haven't doubled your work volume within the month, I'm leaving. Right. Now, this is a little cocky, to say the least. But again, he said he was going to do it. He turned around and did it. I've got the other brother that recently passed last year. He walked into the office, took a look at the computers and went, these are outdated. Let me take a look at them. I'll bring them up to speed. And he turned around and did it. Okay, so yes, I come from a very long line of people that have said, this is what I'm going to do, and we've turned around and done it. In my case, I started off, took me way too long to get started with the birth of the Wolfpack, with the Yldrbac Chronicles. Okay, I said I was going to get them in print. They are now in print. I'm telling you, I'm going to build an empire, starting with the publishing company. Well, really, I'm starting here. Okay. Derek, how you doing? Glad you could join us. Hopefully your day has been going well. Now, what do I got here? Oh, okay, that's what we were doing. This little list here is the stuff for this coming week. Now, we take a look at the paranormal. Oh, that's what I was doing there. Oh, this is all part of... Okay. What do we got? Tuesday, Oh. Okay, what have I got in the plan? Oh, this is what's already. There we go. On Friday. Okay, because obviously we're on here today. Tomorrow I won't be here because I am gaming. Okay, where are we? What do we got? Oh, for crying in a water bucket, Derek. This is just not good. I'm glad. I mean, I'm glad she's okay. Yeah, I really am. I appreciate that, there, Lord Rebel Jack. You know, about the regarding the sounds like confidence, not necessarily cockiness. Yeah, we were born with, we were taught a lot of it. You know, this issue that you're going through, Derek, and more importantly, the Dan that Desiree is going through, curiosity. Why was it somebody else that was essentially responsible, or did she simply make a miscalculation? Either way, I'm glad she's happy. Oh, this is good, and this is good, Derek. You know, okay, Joe, you're asking, can spirit guides be in dreams? Absolutely, virtually 100% yes. They absolutely can be. Okay, they can come in, and what they'll do is they'll paint a picture for you that seems familiar, but will leave you feeling encouraged. If it's leaving you feeling depressed or feeling really fearful of something coming, okay, if that's the case, then it's not one of your spirit guides, because spirit guides invariably come to encourage you to move forward, to move ahead and become successful. They're not interested in you going through pain. They really aren't. Just catching up here, Derek. Two cars had slammed on their brakes. Desiree hit the car in front of her. The only, the only thing that you have to look at from my standpoint, I was talking to an insurance agent one day, and he says, "Look, if you ever get hit from behind, the one thing that Desiree, thankfully, she's saying that she's okay, and so is everybody else. The one thing you have to realize is there is a reason for keeping the extra distance between you. That's the only thing that, and do not get me wrong, I am by no means blaming anybody. I don't know the situation personally, but if they stop suddenly, all she's got to do is remember to give herself a little bit more room to work. The way the insurance company put it when I was talking to them about being rear-ended, right? I says, the guy says, look, legally, if somebody rear ends you, it's their fault. But he said, realistically, if you're paying a little more attention, you may be able to avoid a rear end accident. Sometimes you can't. The one thing to take away from this, the important factor, is to make absolutely certain, is to make absolutely certain you understand the fact she's okay is great. So I mean, I'm looking at wow. We are only half an hour in and we got 15 people on the line, in the chat room. This is absolutely phenomenal in my eyes. Okay, now, when we look at planning, I've laid out a bunch of stuff here, but where are we now? We know what we're up to right now. Thursday, the plan. Tomorrow, I will not be here. Okay, because tomorrow, well, let's face it, that's my gaming day. And I'm not giving that one up. That's my gaming day. This is my coffee. Kind of a necessity. Speaking of which, totally useless piece of information for you. I found out something today. Unequivocal. That's right, unequivocal. Okay. I turned around and found out that Monster drinks, those energy drinks, they're great. I drink one of those, 5 minutes, I'm out for 2 or 3 hours, right? But today I got quantifiable proof that I can take a 375 milliliter bottle of pop, my pick on the type of pop, okay, and it will put me out inside 20 minutes. I'll be out for an hour, almost to the minute, which is great. Oh, this is where are we here? Yeah, I say, I'm just looking. I'm looking at what you've written here, Lord Reproduction. Lord Reproduction has written. I watched 3 hours of you on Spaced Out Radio, Keith, and I'm not going to repeat that, but we'll just leave it with the outstanding with an extra couple of syllables in there. He goes, if you're making it up, you should be in pictures like Miss Chloe, who made millions. Now, I don't know who Miss Chloe is, to be honest, but the idea, understand, and I kid you not, this is going to sound absolutely bizarre, but I've already laid out the paperwork for my company where 80% of my net profit will be going back to the community. As a matter of fact, I've got, what am I looking at? Today is the 13th. So I've got some work to do here. Matter of fact, I've got to get that on my list. Where are we here? Got to do my finances. The two Canadian, the two tire credit cards, and the WOM tracking, my word of mouth tracking. I've got to get that done tonight. But what I keep getting up to do is on Friday, I'm going to be looking into the nature of the paranormal. We use it as a broadband thing. What is paranormal? Well, in a nutshell, paranormal is anything that is not normal. Now, I had a whole list here. I just got to find out what I did with it. Okay, had a list, and it went the way of Yldrbac. I probably ended up shredding the poor thing. So what do I got here? These are the characters, definitely. Okay, that all sits there. So let's take a look at this, shall we? Because I'm just going to lay it out, and if we end up getting... See, I would myself, when we take a look at what to do with money, and this is something to keep in mind. Yes, I have determined. Well, that would be why. I worked on a psychic hotline for 23 years. And this is going to sound really stupid of me to say, but a good 65% of the people that I dealt with, what I told them could be chalked up to either common sense or life experience. Now, this does not do a thing for doing things like telling somebody, here's where your wallet is down, and where your passport is down to the square inch, or here's where you need to drop an artesian well. Yeah, it'll fluctuate up and down. I just noticed that too, Joe. It runs, I'll sit at 5 it'll jump a point or two. I look at it this way. When I take a look at the way the world is, when people are going to a spiritual guide, the one thing I caution you, okay, and this is why I say don't just take my word for it, but make certain whoever is telling you whatever, make certain they are following their own rules, this and their own guidelines. I went into a financial advisor, and because I was being told I needed to get an RSP. Bad idea in my opinion. But while I'm in there, I asked him, I said, curiosity. I says, do you have an RSP? Guy looks at me really funny, gets up, closes the door on the office, comes back and looks at me. And why he leaned closer to me, I don't know. Okay. When he leans close to me and he goes, I won't touch them. Personally, I lost money on mine, so I cashed it in and just got done with it. What do we got here? The neat thing, like when I say I will do the consulting now, I've decided I am going to open that door. Okay, as a matter of fact, let me see here. I just got a letter in. I gotta send that off. I gotta respond to a letter. I just got a letter in the mail asking for a reading, for a consultation. I will do it, but let me be clear. Okay, I do it through Skype, through Facebook, through Facebook Messenger, or through FaceTime. Okay, I'm not installing a bunch of different programs. There's way too many of them. And it's kind of like, in my opinion, here's how we have it. Grocery store opens up. Okay, or a restaurant opens up and goes, I do my work at this building. Okay, you desire food from this restaurant. This is where I am. Okay, most of the counselors out there, most of the consultants will tell you, come to my office. Well, my office is on the computer. I do it live here as well. Don't get me wrong. Lord Rebeljack is just going 12 energy drinks in a night. That's rough on the heart. That unfortunately has been known to kill people. And then he goes on, I could drink 12 beer in a night. My heart would blow up on energy drinks. Many people have literally burst their heart because of that much energy drink. Okay. Now, I'm not saying don't drink energy drinks. Lord knows I've used them. I won't anymore unless I'm having trouble going to sleep. Apparently, they work like a sleeping, like a knockout drug for me. But they tell you all sorts of things. The world is built on fear. It really is. Like people in society has been propagating that for years to their own advantage. In my case, it's simple. I'm building an empire. I call it that because I intend on having my fingers into publishing, producing, filmmaking, healing. I will go into things such as shipping and what have you as I get bigger, not to start with. But through all of this, through all of this evolution, I've already worked out the percentages I will be taking of my net profit. Remember that thing, be true to yourself first. Make sure you know what it costs to run your house. Okay. Net profit means you're taking care of your own living expenses first. Then you start spreading it out. Yeah. The thing is, Black Dragon, knowing your own limits is imperative. Okay, if I get a headache, they tell you with acetaminophen, you take 1,000 milligrams as prescription strength. Don't take more than 8 in a day. In my case, I have found that to deal with it, I literally have to take 13 in a day. I can't take 14 because I took 14 one day and my stomach felt like heck. You know, so I mean, I do appreciate that there, Lord Rebeljack. The reality of it is, for me, Judgment Day happens the end of every day. I look at how I ran my life. Did I make the changes I was intending on, or didn't I? If I did, that's great. If not, then that's an issue that I'll have to deal with. Kevin's going, I don't deal with any of that stuff anymore because I'm on a higher, I am a higher plane. What about that? Well, one little detail to keep in mind. I'm not debating whether your mind is looking at the world in a different fashion. But when we are talking about planar existence, you're on this one. Okay, we know this because you can communicate with other people on this plane. Okay, this doesn't say a thing about how you're thinking. I'm just referring to the literal amount of it. Absolutely. See, I went, Lord Rebeljack, Lord Rebeljack is going, if I'm all about present moment and it totally jives with the NDE experiencers. Well, here's the kicker. I went way past NDE. They call it near death experience. I went dead, just way beyond near. I just went right over the finish line. And then they go shipping me back. Now, in all fairness, I had 3 goals when I was growing up. Okay, that started when I was just a child. 1, I desired to get off this backwoods mud ball. I managed that. What I forgot to mention was don't bring me back. So I mean, from that standpoint, that was the 1 goal. I've managed to pull that off. 2nd, find peace of mind. I finally got that for the most part. It's not entirely stable, but it's close. Okay. And in all fairness, a lot of what you guys have put out have really helped. Okay. The 3rd one is one I'm going to have a little bit of fun with. I said when I was just a wee lad, I had made the comment, I desire to see the 22nd century in reasonably good health. Okay. Well, for me to do that, I'm going to have to hit 137 years old. Now, I'm 60. This means I'm only halfway through. But I desire to see it in a functionally healthy body, meaning, I can deal with being paraplegic. I don't have a big problem with that. But what it means is I'm not going to become a vegetable. I am not going to go the route of being a quadriplegic where everybody has to do everything for me. That's not happening. That's not functional in my eyes. Okay. Now, I am changing my health. I found out one bizarre little thing, and it has helped immensely. Okay, when it comes to stomach health, you'll love this one. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna go and get it just so you know exactly what I'm talking about. Give me 10 seconds here. Well, probably closer to about 30. Well, that didn't work as well as I would like. But I was talking to a gentleman that's got 15 years on me. Okay, about health. And what I ended up dealing with, what I found out, is helping with your digestion. Okay, helping with that side of your life. What he said, and I've already tried it, and this is why I will turn around and tell you about it. He said, get canned cranberry sauce. Okay, but make sure it's whole berry. Whole berry cranberry sauce. He says, you eat a quarter can a day, and do that for a few days. If your system starts running properly, you've got enough. If it doesn't, he says, bring it up to a third of a can. But that simply means, and this was not from a doctor, it was from a guy that's been doing it. And this is why I say, take a look at where your life is and start pushing the limits, start changing what's not working for you. Okay. Now let us see here. Right now on the, what do we have? Oh, okay, that was supposed to be on the 8th. Okay, so I've got to start planning out this week. Now I do know that Sunday we are going to be running an open topic. On Monday, we are going to take a look at, and this one we're not moving. Okay, Sundays are just straight locked in. Monday this coming week, we are going to be dealing with literally the logic behind an alien invasion. Okay. Because I figure I'm sticking with this side of it. Okay, in order to get things on track. So many people talk about, I've got a lot of different fields I can work in, and this is why I've decided that the path I'm going is Sundays are going to be open. Whatever questions people come up, those are the days you'll likely see me doing things like painting my figures. Okay, not my figure, because let's face it, that's just not good. Am I working on getting my health back in order? Absolutely. But Mondays we're going to deal with alien things, with alien technologies, with alien races. This one I've already moved it 1 week. So, if you've got a topic now, it was already asked last week, sometime in the last couple of days here, really. Okay, to look at the actual diet, the actual elfid race, and at the dwarves. Okay, now that one there, Lord Rebel Jack. We've discussed it before, but it's one of those things that is really important. We've got new listeners all the time now. Okay, so that one, we are right now on the 13th. Clearly, we're not going to go into it a lot right now, but I am just writing it down. I've actually got, see, most people use electronic. I still am a dinosaur. This is what we used when I was growing up, also known as a desktop calendar. But it makes it so much easier for me. So, on this Friday, in other words, in 2 days, okay, we're going to be discussing 0 point energy, looking at what it is, what names it's known by, and much more importantly, I personally believe, we're going to talk about, we are going to give you tools, give you techniques, whereby you can start doing it yourself that night. On Friday night, we're going to open the door for you and show you how to do it yourself. Hopefully what will happen is I'll get input while we're in the room of people that are trying it, are experiencing it, and getting it to happen. Okay. let's see, Lord Reproduction is going, would change the world. Yeah, 0 point energy could change the world. Here's the thing. It could change the world either positive or negative, depending on what people talk about it. Okay. Now, the trick with affordable housing, and by the way, that's one of those other fields I will be down the road as money presents itself. I will be targeting. Okay. This idea of affordable housing. The reason it's so badly priced right now is because people have said, I want to make all my money off one person. Now, let me ask you this. Okay. I've got, you've only got so many hours in a day, right? But let me ask you this. I've been paid as much as $2,600 an hour for what I do. Okay. I brought my price down to $80 an hour. All these prices are going up. I dropped mine down. Yes, $80 an hour, but that means 20 every 15 minutes. Because the way I look at it is this. Way more people have problems. It's just the way it is. Okay, and I was talking to a millionaire one day, and he goes, look, there is, look, there's no question. $20, a dollar is a dollar is a dollar, no matter how old you are, no matter how much money you've got. So I got looking at it going, well, if I bring it down to $20 a minute, $20 a 15 minutes, okay, I've got 50 years almost under my belt of doing this kind of work. Okay, and yes, experience does give you a slightly different look at it. So, will I do it? Yes, but I operate only prepaid. And this is why I've got, as a matter of fact, got to make sure that gets done. I wonder if I've got his email. We go in here. No. Wrong name. Will not find a guy's email if I don't have the right name. I'll have to check that. Okay, what do we got? Yeah, I absolutely agree with you there, Joe. I'm a firm believer that that kind of behavior just should not be, it shouldn't be tolerated, period. Unfortunately, the way the laws are written right now, and no, the odds of mine going into politics are not really good. I was already a member of a board of directors on a local park society. And even at that level, the self-serving corruption is absolutely, it's unconscionable in my eyes. But I will be looking into things like affordable housing. And I don't mean this idea of, like right now, you think about it. Now, I don't know what it costs to handle the mortgage on this property that I'm on and that I live in. Okay. I am living, now get this. I'm living in an apartment building. I'm paying a mind-boggling $1,000 a month, roughly. Okay. The other apartments at this size are running at close to 2. Now, understanding it's a 4-floor building and they've got 15 units per floor. We're looking at 60 units in the building. Okay. Now, if you're looking at $1,000 a unit and the single bedroom are about $1,000 a month. The fact I'm in a 3-bedroom is because I've been here for 10 years now. But you look at that. They are making per month. They are making $60,000. Now, even if their bills are running high, okay, you're still making $30,000 a month from one building. Okay, now I'm a firm believer that kind of income is not required. Yes, I know I'm talking about something, most people go, well, the more money, the better. And really, more money doesn't do a thing for you. It lets you buy more things, absolutely. But I forgot what the guy's name was. Wonder if he actually